So this is Higher Paper 1, question 2 from the 2019 paper. This question asks us about a quadratic and where it has equal roots. Now whenever a question talks about the roots of a quadratic, instantly you need to be thinking about the discriminant. Now the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. It's the part of the quadratic formula that determines the number of roots that we are possibly going to have as part of our solution. Now remember, there's three conditions. It can either be positive, so greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0. Now if it's positive, the square root is going to be positive, so I'm going to get two possible answers because I've got the plus minus. So I'm going to add on or subtract the same amount. If it's equal to 0, the square root segment disappears, and then I end up with negative b over 2a, which means that I've only got one solution, so I've got equal roots. And if it's negative, so less than 0, I'm taking the square root of a negative number, and without delving into complex and imaginary numbers, we can't get a solution for it. But regardless, the quadratic does not cut the x-axis, so it does not have any form of roots. Now in this case, we want equal roots, so we know the condition the determinant has to meet is it has to be equal to 0. So we want to find out what value of k gives us b squared minus 4ac equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is determine a, b and c from here, and then just substitute them in. So a, b and c are given by the coefficients of each term. So in this case, a is the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. B is the coefficient of x, which is my k minus 5. And c is the coefficient at the end, or the constant value, which is 1. So now I take each of these and just substitute it in. So I end up with k minus 5 squared, take away 4 times 1 times 1, and I know it has to be equal to 0. So if I take the bracket and multiply it, I end up getting k squared minus 10k plus 25. This here just gives me 4 times 1, which is 4, so it's going to be take away 4 equal to 0. Simplify this, k squared minus 10k plus 21 equals 0. So now I need to look to factorise this. So I want two answers that multiply to give me 21, but add to give me negative 10. And in this case, my two numbers that give me that are minus 3 and minus 7. So factorising it gives me two brackets, k minus e, k minus 7 equals 0. Again, to get the solution for this, either this bracket 0 or this bracket 0. So that implies that I've got k minus 3 equals 0, or k minus 7 equals 0. It's important to emphasise the or because you don't know which of the two brackets is a set solution for the entire thing. You've got no conditions upon which k lies. So in this case, it could be either of the two answers. Either's a possibility. So from this, k minus 3 equals 0 is one possibility, giving me k equals 3, or k minus 7 is equal to 0, giving me k equal to 7. So I've got two possible solutions for this that can give me equal roots for this quadratic. Quick point, here it says determine the possible values. It uses a plural for values. That tends to mean you're going to get more than one solution for it. So just watch out again for that little intricacy in the wording of the question. Now for this one, this is a 3-mark question. First mark is for knowing to use the discriminant and substituting your values in, so this stage here. Second one is getting to this point here because what I've done is I've applied the condition where it equals 0. I've then multiplied out the bracket and simplified it to get k squared minus 10k plus 21. What I then do is determine the two values of k, so this final step here, and that's my third mark. So there you go, that's the entire thing. Now in this question, just as a point to note as well, they accept you just writing k minus 5 squared, take with 4 times 1 without stating equal to 0 to get mark 1. But you have to remember to apply that condition of equal to 0 as you then work further through the question to show your understanding.